Hey, have you ever thought about how Tunisia compares to other North African countries?
That's an interesting topic. Tunisia is a unique country in North Africa, but comparing it to its neighbors is a good way to understand its strengths and challenges. Where should we start?
Let's start with geography. Tunisia is the northernmost country in Africa, with a Mediterranean coastline. Egypt, Libya, Algeria, and Morocco are its immediate neighbors. How do you think its geography compares to the others?
Tunisia's location on the Mediterranean is definitely an advantage. It gives them access to trade routes and tourism. Egypt, too, has a Mediterranean coast, but Libya, Algeria, and Morocco have mainly Atlantic or Mediterranean coastlines. This could impact their economic opportunities.
True, the coastline is a significant factor. But what about the Sahara Desert? It covers a large part of North Africa. How do these countries cope with it?
Good point. Tunisia's northern region is more fertile and less affected by the Sahara compared to its neighbors. Algeria and Libya, for example, have vast desert areas. Egypt has the Sinai Desert. Morocco also has desert regions. Tunisia's geography allows for more agricultural potential.
Agriculture is crucial, especially for food security. But what about their political situations? How do these countries compare in terms of stability and governance?
That's a complex issue. Tunisia had the Arab Spring and transitioned to democracy, but they've had their share of political instability. Egypt has had its fair share of political turmoil too, and it's currently under a military-backed government. Libya has faced civil war, Algeria has seen protests, and Morocco is a constitutional monarchy. Each has its unique governance challenges.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. What about the economies? How do they compare in terms of GDP and development?
Tunisia has a relatively diversified economy compared to some of its neighbors. They have a growing tourism industry, manufacturing sector, and services. Algeria relies heavily on oil and gas, while Libya's economy has been greatly affected by conflict. Egypt has a diverse economy, but faces economic challenges. Morocco has been investing in various sectors, including agriculture and renewable energy.
So, it seems like Tunisia has a more stable and diversified economy compared to some others. What about culture and society? How do they compare in terms of diversity and social issues?
North Africa is a culturally rich region. Tunisia is known for its mix of Arab and Berber cultures. Egypt has a long history and diverse culture. Algeria is ethnically diverse, with Berbers and Arabs. Libya's society is also diverse. Morocco has a unique blend of Arab, Berber, and European influences. Each country faces its own social challenges, such as youth unemployment and gender equality issues.
It's fascinating how diverse they are despite geographical proximity. Speaking of diversity, what about languages? Arabic is the most widely spoken, but Berber, French, and English are also spoken in some countries.
That's true. Arabic is the official language in all these countries, but the use of French is widespread, especially in Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. Berber is significant in Algeria and Morocco. English is taught in schools and used in business in some places. Language diversity reflects their historical ties and colonial legacies.
Let's not forget religion. Islam is the dominant religion in all these countries. However, there are variations in religious practice and influence. How do you see this?
Religion is a unifying factor in North Africa. Islam is the state religion in most of these countries, but there is a range in religiosity. Tunisia has a more secular tradition, while Morocco promotes a moderate form of Islam. Egypt has a strong Islamic influence, and Algeria has a mix of Islamic and Berber beliefs. Religion plays a role in shaping their societies and policies.
You're right, and it's interesting how they navigate the balance between religion and secularism. Let's talk about international relations. How do these countries compare in terms of their foreign policies and regional influence?
They all have unique foreign policy orientations. Tunisia has a history of diplomatic mediation and is a member of the Arab League. Egypt has a prominent regional role, especially in the Arab world. Algeria plays a key role in African diplomacy and peacekeeping. Libya's foreign policy has been affected by its internal conflicts. Morocco has been active in regional politics, notably in relation to Western Sahara.
It's clear that each country has its own foreign policy priorities. Finally, what about education and healthcare? How do they compare in terms of access and quality of services?
Education and healthcare are critical indicators of development. Tunisia has made significant investments in education and healthcare, achieving relatively high literacy rates and healthcare access. Egypt has a well-established education system, but healthcare quality varies. Algeria has invested in both sectors but faces challenges in remote areas. Libya's services have been impacted by conflict. Morocco has made strides in education and healthcare, but also faces disparities.
So, it seems like Tunisia has an advantage in education and healthcare compared to some of its neighbors. Overall, this discussion highlights the diversity and complexity of North African countries, with each having its unique strengths and challenges.
Absolutely. It's important to recognize that while they share a geographical region, their histories, cultures, economies, and governance structures are quite distinct. Comparing them helps us appreciate the rich tapestry of North Africa.